Hi, my name is Erica, and this is my April wrap-up. The first book that I completed in the month of April was The Rest Falls Away by Colleen Gleason, and it's the first book in the Gardella Vampire Hunter series. The series is about the Gardella Vampire Hunter series by Colleen Gleason is about a family that has a legacy for them where they are the vampire hunters. So they're the people that in this 19th century world where vampires are among the humans, but it follows all those like old rules that you've heard before, like they can't come out in the sunlight, they can be killed with stakes, crosses, anything like that, because there's a lot of biblical references. They're damned souls, so because they're damned souls, they can be defeated by holy items like crosses and holy water and things like that. So the basic premises of the series is Victoria, specifically these books. The first 5 books in the series are actually Victoria book 1, book 2, so on and so forth. It's her story. In these, she's your central character, and again, it takes place in the 19th century, and she's balancing being a debutante because she's 20 years old, so she's actually a little bit older than they usually are for a debutante, but being a debutante as well as following her family legacy and being a vampire hunter, which in itself is kind of fascinating. I've never seen the two things, and it's interesting because it's like reading almost like a Victorian novel at the same time as reading a Gothic novel, if that makes any sense. It's really interesting. I was like instantly like, I love Victoria. I think she's so fun, and I think there are a lot of other characters that are really fun. Her maid, Verbena, is probably the funniest character, although I have to say, in reading the series, she spoke completely different in the first book to the second book. They gave her like Cockney language, which if you don't know what that is, it's when they use like I guess like commoner language, I guess is the way to put it. For it's basically like if you were to write a book speaking in Ebonics, like for us, but in this case, it's like the best way to put it. Yeah, if you've ever seen My Fair Lady, in the beginning she speaks completely differently than she does after they go through all of the speech lessons with her. That's what it is. It's dropping different letters and stuff, and the way it's written, it takes away from the story for me. Like, I get that they're trying to make it seem like she's like second class, I suppose, but you kind of already know that when she's like a maid. But I don't know. I just personally, like, in the first book, it didn't seem like it took that much for it, and in the second book, every single time Verbena speaks, it's like, okay, I get it, but like, is it necessary? I don't know. That was probably the only thing that annoyed me, was that the books themselves have this whole really interesting part of like, it's a romance novel tied into a vampire mystery with like suspense thriller stuff thrown in, and there's a lot of action, there's a lot of romance, there's a lot of, it's not even like a love triangle, it's like every man that meets her likes her, so she's consistently like either having to thwart them and tell them to just go away, or figuring out how she feels about them. It's really good, and it's really well written as far as I'm concerned. I'm really enjoying the series in general. The next book I finished, I started reading during a readathon, and then I took it with me when I was on vacation. And while I was on vacation, I just wasn't feeling great the whole time, so I spent one entire day of my vacation which it's not uncommon for me when I'm on vacation somewhere. Usually I like to spend like one day just hanging out in the room I'm paying for. And in this case, I had like a little patio and stuff, so I basically just hung out in the patio and then inside in a chair because it was a little chilly out, because New England's still pretty cold right now, for me at least. And I read for like the whole day, so I actually finished out Cinder by Marissa Meyer while I was on vacation, and this is the first book in Lunar Chronicles. There are 4 books, and then there's also a novella in the series. And yeah, if you haven't heard of Lunar Chronicles, the basis of it is that basically the world as we know it is gone, and the Earth is split up in all these like sectors, commonwealths, I don't know what to call them. But at some point there was like a crazy war, and now everything's ruled by like everybody has their own election and stuff, and there are cyborgs, and there are, you know, random, there are regular like humans, and then there are like cyborgs, and there are androids, just all living in the same places. Um, there's people that, there's a whole culture that lives on the moon in Luna. They're called Lunars. Lunar Chronicles, see where I'm going here. They are fairy tale retellings, so like Cinder is based on Cinderella. There are some like pretty cool nods to Cinderella, to like the original story in it, which is pretty cool. The book in general was awesome, like so good. I understand now why everybody has these and everybody's been reading them. The other day I was thinking, this is one of those books that's like sticking with me too, in that at random I was sitting, I was actually in my car and I was driving by, sort of on my heading home from my vacation, and I was driving next to this river, and I was like, I wonder what river that is. I was like, see, if I was Cinder, I would just have like this little screen, because she's cyborg and she's half human, half cyborg, and she has like a basically like an interface in front of her eyes that, like, if she's thinking of something or whatever, it'll basically look it up for her and it'll scroll in front of her face. And I was like, that would be really cool right now, except that I don't know if it would distract people driving. But anyway, that's, you know, stuff like that. It was a really cool read, a really interesting, definitely really good plot twists in it, and just really good characters, and I just really, really liked it. I cannot wait to read more. So yeah. The next book I finished was awesome. Let me just say, I mean, seriously, awesome. So good, so good. This is Poison. This is Poison by Sarah Pinborough. Pinborough? Yeah, Pinborough. And it's a Wicked Snow White tale. It's the first in a series of fairy tale retellings, I guess, according to the book. The other two are, let me see. I think it's Charm and Beauty. That sounds right in my head. Yeah, Charm and Beauty. Charm is a Cinderella one. Beauty is a Sleeping Beauty one. And I honestly cannot wait to read them. Like, want to read them now. Which I'm having a big issue with, because lately it's like everything I read, I want to read the next or another, like, right now. And that's not humanly possible for me to read as many books as I want to read right now at once, because I would totally forget what I was doing. But anyway, so I read this one. I actually bought this when I was on vacation, and I read it within a couple days of getting it. It's actually a pretty short read. It's only 200 and some odd pages. I don't even think it might not even be 200 pages. But it's really, really well done. It's definitely, it says somewhere, like I saw somewhere this is supposed to be a YA book, but it really feels adult to me. Like, it doesn't feel like YA. Like, my niece reads YA, and I wouldn't have her read this book. But she's 13. Maybe she was like 18, I would. I don't know. Anyway, but I would say, like, it's an adult fairy tale retelling. There's no like overuse of romance in it. There's a little bit here and there. There's definitely a lot of sex in it. There, like, for a 200, well, less than 200 page novel, there's a lot of sex in here. But the writing is fantastic. Like, girl can write. Oh my god, it's so good. It's just so, it is such, okay, it's such a good book. It's so good. If you like fairy tale retellings and you like a more adult novel, I'm gonna throw that out there again. Pick it up. It is so good. It is so fun and creepy, and it has moments where it's just, it has, I mean, there's an entire backstory about the, Snow White's stepmother, so like the Wicked Queen, that's really interesting and gives her like a total, I mean, you actually kind of feel sorry for her. You can have sympathy for her. There's a whole thing about Snow White that's totally different. That I really honestly love this Snow White character so much. I feel like the Snow White that we're used to, which is typically the one like in Disney movies, and even in other retellings I've read where there's a Snow White character, she's always just kind of super innocent and very demure and really, really kind, but that's like it. They never really give her any more substance, and I feel like the way it's written in here, like, she has like some really awesome substance behind her being really nice and stuff, and it's just really, it's a really good book. You've got your hunter in it, you've got your whole, your standard, like, please go kill her because she's too pretty thing, but there's more to it than that, which I think is really interesting. I love the dwarf characters in this as well. I thought they were really interesting. I love the whole entire book. There is not one part of this book that I did not enjoy. I like the whole thing. And the ending was like slapped you in the face shocked. It was so, so good. It was just so good. It was just, that's it. So read it. Read it now. And if you have read it, did you like it as much as I did? Did you think it was awesome? By the way, can we just take 2 seconds to, do you see how pretty this book is? Like, just this version? This is what the hardcovers of these look like. Well, at least in the US. I don't know if they look like somewhere else, but they're so pretty. This is your cloth bound, like, regular hardcover, like, think back to, like, the old school hardcovers everybody used to get. But this is, like, all embossed in here. And actually, like, it feels so fun. I like it. But it's all embossed and pretty. It's actually why I picked. The next book I finished in April was My Drunk Kitchen, A Guide to Eating, Drinking, and Going With Your Gut by Hannah Hart, and the foreword in it is by John Green. This book is awesome. If you've never seen it before, Hannah Hart has a YouTube channel. Is it My Hearto? Yes, My Hearto. Which is it's literally My Drunk Kitchen is on every Thursday. Oh my goodness, I forgot. Yes, every Thursday. Every Thursday, there's a My Drunk Kitchen episode, and it's literally what it sounds like. It started with her getting drunk in her sister's kitchen and trying to make grilled cheese, and then not having cheese, and it was the funniest thing ever, and I love it so much, and I've been watching it ever since I saw that first episode. Oh my god, years ago. I love it. I love it so much. It's so funny. So when she wrote a book, I was like, wow, I'm gonna have to buy that. It's really funny. It's really cute. It actually has a lot of really interesting like life lessons in it, which were fun. It is more life lessons and super fun, interesting stories and stuff than it is actual recipes. If you were looking for like a cookbook, but it's the same as if you're watching her show. Like there's not like if you're watching like her YouTube channel, it's kind of the same thing. It's basically like how do I cook with a bunch of stuff that's in my house right now while I'm drunk, and that's how she puts it together. And the book is exactly the same, so it's super fun that way. I really liked it a lot. I thought it was really cute. I gave it 4 stars because it was fun. It was a good time. It was a good read. And yeah. Next one is The Bleeding Dusk by Colleen Gleason. This is the third book in the Gardella Vampire Chronicles, which I talked about in my last video and at the beginning of this one, but this series is ridiculous. Just every single book gets crazier. Something else insane happens. Something else you're not really expecting happens. Although there are things like I'm reading it going, why don't they just do this? Like, is there a reason why they can't just splash holy water and everything? Anyway, beginning of the month I read another one of these, so I know I talked about this already. I do have to say that Colleen Gleason has like a way of writing a cliffhanger, but in comparison to like Harry Potter, the first experience of reading Harry Potter, I remember every time I got to the end of the book being like, oh, what? And then needing the next one, like absolutely needing the next one, and being agonized having to wait for the next one. So these are the same way, and I'm really, really glad I bought all of them at the same time. Crazy as the last one's, really good. I think in the series so far, I'm trying to decide which one's my favorite. The second one, definitely not. I did like that one a lot, but not my favorite. I don't know. I'm not really sure. And the funniest thing is, Colleen Gleason is really active on Twitter and Instagram and everything. And has her own like Facebook group for the Gardella series and all of that. And it's really funny. If you like tweet anything, she'll answer you, and she just keeps asking me which team I'm on, Max or Sebastian, which are the two men that are vying for Victoria, who's the main character, in like every single book. And there's all this like tension between the two of them. It's like a weird, it's not even, you can't even be like a love triangle, because I swear every single man that's introduced in this book, save maybe 3, is head over heels in love with her, like needs to be with her. So she's that woman. So it's not even like a love triangle. Every single book has like her and like 5 men trying to get to her, and her like being like, nah, I like these 2. No. And trying to like figure out whatever, how she feels and stuff, because she has her life already. I mean, because she's a Gardella vampire, and that's what she needs to do is kill the, vampire hunter. So she needs to kill the vampires. And yeah. But yeah, it's a really solid series. It's really good. I like it a lot. I really, really enjoy her writing style, and I feel like every single time I finish, I have to read the next book just instantly. And I did. So it looks like that is my April wrap up. It is the last day of April today, April 30th. I'm also currently reading or working my way through Hot Body Year Round by Cassie Ho, which is Blogger Lottie's book that I got at book signing, and that book is awesome. But that really is. It's a really good book if you're looking for any ideas on how to live healthier, how to keep yourself active. It's got really awesome workout routines in them that are hard. Oh my god, hard. Like they're hard. They're even harder than when you do the videos on some of them. They're pretty intense and they're really good, and I like them. So I've been working through that too. Like I think it just hit. I just finished out spring. I went through that. And now I'm in the summer part of it. So I'm about 100 pages into that, and those are things I'm like reading a little at a time. And then the books that I'm actually currently reading that are your standard things you'd probably see me read. So I just started this one, When Twilight Burns by Colleen Gleason, which is the 4th book in the Gardella Vampire Chronicles, which I've talked about in this wrap up already, because obviously that's actually the biggest chunk of my wrap up is me reading this here series. Really, really like it. Obviously, I've already said that, but we're gonna say it again because I really like it, and I actually think I may have to. I don't know though. I have a thing with there's certain authors where you're like, oh, I want to read more stuff, and then I always wonder, am I gonna like those characters as much? That's my thing with Charlaine Harris. Charlaine Harris wrote the Sookie Stackhouse books, and I read all of those. That's like 15 books. I read all of those, and it was awesome, and I really liked it. But I am wary of reading anything else by Charlaine Harris because I don't know if I'll like the characters as much. Because most of me reading those books was more about how much I loved the characters over how much I loved the writing style or I loved this particular author. Although some of her stuff was funny. Like I really liked the dialogue and stuff in those books because some of the conversations were hilarious. Made me laugh out loud. And it's the same thing with this. I really like her writing style a lot. I think it's really interesting. So I think after I finish this series, I may pick up another one. So if you have read Colleen Gleason, something other than the Gardella Vampire Chronicles, could you let me know what you read and what I should pick up next? Because I actually would. I think I'm gonna check out at least one more thing that she's written, just to see if I am really into her writing style or just this here series. And I don't really care what it is, because if you've been watching my channel at all, which thank you very much, if you're watching it, I read a little bit of everything. It's kind of, my life is that way. I like a little bit of everything. I like what I like, and it's a little bit of everything. It's just how it is. I like lots of music, lots of movies, books, whatever. I just, I like what I like. It works. So yeah. So, I'm currently reading that, and then I'm also still reading my Bookie Book by Russell Brand. I took a break from it. I started to read it, and it's not as bad book because it's a good book because it's Russell Brand, and Russell Brand's awesome. But I just needed to read fiction. I just did. I was like, I can't do nonfiction right now, so that's over there. And yeah, I think those are the only two. That's my wrap up for this month. That's what I read. Pretty good. Not terrible. I like that I'm plowing right through some series here, so that's good because I have so many series, because there's no other options. Not to say that it's not a good thing, because I do like series, but I feel like I'm reading way more series than standalone books right now. It's because I keep getting into them, and then I want to finish, and I want to do it now because I don't feel like taking 10 years to read a series again. This is what I read for April. Yay! Pretty happy. Pretty good. I read some awesome books too, so that's good. I like that. That makes me happy. I'm sure you're the same way, though. Like, when you finish a month, and you're like, yeah, good books. It's a good time. Other than, like, you're reading in a month, and it takes you the whole month to find a book you like. Have you done that? I've certainly done that before, where you're reading, you're voraciously, like, just reading and reading and reading, going, can I have one that's a good book? But there've been a lot of good books kicking around right now, and it's good. So, what did you read this month? What was your favorite book that you read this month? What was the best one you read? I think, I don't know. What was my favorite? But yeah, I'm not even sure. But I really, really, really like Cinder. I know that. Like that was, I closed that book and was just like, yes, so good. So yeah, I'm excited to read the rest of that series too. I don't know. That's what I got. So like this video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more. And I will see you in the next one, which actually is going to happen pretty soon because I'm going to film my TBR for May. Okay, so have an awesome day and happy reading to you. I'll see you in the next one.